Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mandarb Max, and I'm going to be walking you through how to host a game for Dominion 6 for people who are super fucking lazy. I have already taken the liberty of recruiting some players. You can see them here. That's the first step. You get players, you add them to a nation list. You can do this in like a DM, or you can go on to Immersion or Lucid server or the Game Hub, and you can have one of the admins there cook you up a channel and a role. Once you've got that, you give everybody a role, you ping them, and you host a network game like so. We're going to enter the game lobby, we're going to create a new game, and we're going to type ourselves in a name. This game is LA. Oh, LA should be capitalized. Means leg snake age. We're going to give it a password. I like to do passwords that are like really fucking simple. But since this is actually a game, I'm not going to tell you the password. You're just going to have to guess it from the sound of me typing. And also from seeing it on the screen. We get to select our era. This is a late era game. And then what I like to do to keep people from like fighting over slots, because there will be confusion, you set everything to open, you add the correct number, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then we go through and we add in all of the nations for our game. I'm not actually going to waste your time with this video with all of them. We'll add a little welcome message. That's just fun. Anybody can add that. You don't have to be the host. And we're going to run through the game settings that I like to set for these games. I like to turn off diplomacy because I'm an old fart. Common random events. Default special site frequency. I remember in one of the early patches it was screwing that up on the hosted games. It's 65, 55, 45 for early, middle, and late era, respectively. We can keep all of the rest of this stuff default. It, one province starting for strength for independence, resource multipliers default. That I haven't seen the hosted games mess up. I like to turn on minor story events. I like common random events. Score graphs disabled is the correct thing. The rest of this looks good. Standard research. Random starting research, don't disable this. Oh my god, I hate spread starting research. And you have to have renaming allowed, because otherwise how can you have silly names in the Hall of Fame? How can you rename your pretenders without it? Disciples game, that's for like team play. That's good fun to run, but it's not what we're doing in this game. And startable by anyone is dangerous. Don't do that. Your players will have to wait until you're like off work to start the game, but also, unless you're running a game for like trustworthy friends, don't do that. You need to have a master password. People forget their passwords for their pretenders all the fucking time. You need a master password. For thrones, simple brain dead way to do it is no level 1, and then as many thrones per player as many thrones as players, and for the highest level that you can manage. Unfortunately, you can only fit 10 level 3 thrones, which is a bummer because most games happen to be around 12 players. But if you've got a smaller game, I like to go for level 3 thrones. You want to set your ascension points required to about 50%, maybe 51%. That is a good balance for keeping the game, like, you don't make it drag, but you don't make it something that like can be rushed without most players at least having a chance to fight back. Cataclysm on turn limit 91. That is kind of a new thing that's a little lower than I normally set it, but it's really not that bad. Normally Cataclysm is a pain in the ass, but it's Dominion 6, and this is the default setting, so we're kind of going to roll with it. Geography, I like large maps. I like a layout either standard or maybe small lakes, because fuck underwater nations. Few water provinces if you're doing standard, but we'll try small lakes for this one. We want full wraparound, and we want rivers, because rivers are cool. For cave layout, I like one cave. Circle cave is cool, but it can be kind of like narrow unless you're running like a huge fucking game, and we're not. And if you have a lot of scattered caves, then you can end up with cave nations just like having their own little hole to hang out and that nobody can enter, and it's a nightmare. Or at least I imagine it being a nightmare. You know, we're like 2 weeks into Dominion 6. Who the fuck knows? Those are the settings I like. As I said, you go through and you fill out all of this information. Then you DM the password for the game to all of your players. If you're running on a server and not in like a big giant DM, then you want to make a role for all of your players. You ping them when the game starts, and you have them ping each other whenever the turn rolls. Typically, you'll also be included. This is a noob game, so I'm not going to be part of it, but most games that I host, I play in, and so I would be pinging myself too. I would be having that role. I will also include my standard, like, big fat-ass pile of rules in the description for this video. I hope that this is all helpful and will allow you to make your own games, because I can only host 5 games on the Illwinter servers at a time, and so with this game, I'm full. So, please host for me, otherwise there won't be noob games. Thank you for listening to this long rambly bit, and have a good day.